Welcome to United Jews channel.
I hear different things. I hear that, I don't know, I lost count of genders that we have to know now. There's pronouns that people announce before they talk. For example, I just been in Jewish Community Center in San Francisco. The main speaker who introduced other speaker warned me that she had some special pronouns that I had to remember.
Was that a
Talk
problem?
So of course I forgot them, but that's what's happening. You can't at the same time say, oh, we're gonna hire as a vice president minority woman, and at the same time say, oh, there's no two genders anymore. Well, you have to choose and pick. You're confusing me. So either we have 102 genders, or we're gonna worry about giving women their rights and making sure that those rights are followed. Yes, I know there's inequality, there's not equity. Yes, it's happening. It's normal. Yet we can't fix it by denying that there's two genders. The biology is always right. The math is always
Biology
right.
tells us that
I have a question for you, Igor. So the fact that you had to know the pronoun of a person in the at the Jewish Community Center, and it was not the pronoun that you're familiar with or appreciate, did that create you? Did that create for you a problem to appreciate that person as a person?
I wasn't. She just announced other speakers, doctors that
But
I
how did it
listened and
reflect on
I
you? What
enjoyed.
was
But
the reflection on you personally? Did
it
that create like
it, it was
yeah?
shocking. It was confusing. It was um, it was distracting for me personally.
Did it
For me,
make you did
And
it make you value that person as a less of a human being because they're
it
choosing
distracted
differently?
me. I
I
stopped looking at her as a person. I started thinking about what she said,
uh,
and it
exactly.
totally distracted me from appreciating that person.
I think I think people can remember as much as they can remember. It's very hard, like you have a coworker and that coworker is pregnant and you need to keep in mind if she has a boy or a girl. Were you in this situation? Like you knew somebody told you, oh, she's expecting a girl, and then you kind of forgot because you don't work with her every day and it's not on your mind. And then you wanted to say, or the child is born and you want to say, how is your son or daughter, and you're like, oh, I don't
Child.
remember. I can't
How about
remember. How's your
happy
baby?
birthday to your
Because
child?
yes, but what I'm saying is, at least you can say to your child, right? You can replace it with a baby. How's your baby? But
Mm-hmm.
with the pronouns, you just can't, because this is it. If you don't say it, you're like, you can't say anything. So that's why you can't replace it with anything else. It's so specific, and it makes people just don't remember. They remember if
And
it's
that's
important
okay.
person, but it's not, if you don't communicate with this person on a daily basis, you forget. And then you're like, oh gosh, I don't remember how this person, I better not even think about it or talk to this person, because I don't remember how to even contact this person, right? How to say hello. I don't remember how to approach.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it has its own, just because we don't remember, we just can't
And, and
keep
and
it.
and you know that that's okay. You don't have to remember. That's the thing, because
I mean, I don't remember
every
everyone's.
yeah
Sorry.
every one of these everybody will appreciate if you start a conversation from a standpoint, I'm sorry if I don't know how to address you specifically, would you please correct me? And they would, without reserving
No,
a bad opinion about you, by the way. So it's
okay.
just an opinion to consider for that part,
So
not that you
again,
have to apply it.
again, idealistically, Kirill, you're right.
I
Yeah,
know that because I
practically,
interact with these people.
Practically,
practically, I would describe the situation practically. I
Hmm.
work in healthcare, so
Yeah.
I have to call for procedure a patient, and I've
Okay.
been trained before to look and say Mrs. So and so, or first name, last name. Now I'm being retrained to look on a preferred name policy in the chart of a patient. So that delays the patient. I have to preferred name, preferred sex, and you know, it would be fine if people would just say, "Oh, he made a mistake. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm actually going as a woman. Please address me as a Michelle. I'm not Michael." Yeah, that's fine. But they didn't say anything. That
How
person
about
didn't say anything. Person went to member services and complained, and now we have retrained. Somebody got fired because he didn't look at that specific place in the chart, which is not on the first page, to say that this used to be a man, now is a woman, prefers to be
Yeah,
called Michelle.
people get fired.
consider
Yeah.
starting a conversation, not assuming how to address a person. You can start a conversation. I'm sorry, I'm not certain how to address you. Would you coach me on this? And they would tell you how to address them without creating
Again, realistically,
a drama.
not everybody does. Most people
Um,
in my line of work, they will not say anything, and people who want to complain and people who want to reprimand, they will do it. Okay, you will
you
say
cannot
that, and they
fix
will say
everybody.
he didn't even look
That's
in the
the
chart. It's
problem.
clearly
I
stated.
mean, that's the problem. That's the problem is that people, okay, look, my name is spelled Leza. Everyone wants to pronounce it Leza because with an E, but it's Leza. If somebody gets it wrong, I just correct them because it's a name, and that's not considered taboo because it's a name, and people just are used to being corrected on pronunciations of names. Eventually, we will just get used to being corrected on pronouns. And yes, it will take time because some people feel shame. They feel embarrassed and they don't want to do it. They don't want to like make any waves or whatever. I don't know. I don't really understand the reasoning. But to each his own. But eventually, eventually it will happen, and we won't be asking like, how do you, what pronouns do you use? They'll just be like, hi, my name is blank. These are the pronouns I use, and that's where our like culture is going.
Yeah,
it's what it is.
and and it's not a problem. They appreciate to be called. They appreciate to be asked, and they appreciate to be called by the proper pronoun. I deal with different types of people on daily basis, and no, I'm not in the healthcare anymore, but I had spent 15 years working in healthcare, so I do know how tricky these situations can be sometimes, and that's okay. People appreciate when you show concern toward them, no matter they may come to a medical procedure from extremely bad place. They could have been, I don't know, they be in pain, they can be scared, they can be whatever. And if you show kindness toward them, they're okay with it, no matter how many defenses they have coming into the situation. And that goes for politics as well, by the way.
You know, I think a lot of change since the 90s when we came to the United States. A lot of people around me were changing their names. I changed one letter in my name just so that people could easier pronouncing my name. I didn't want to correct them. I just wanted them to say it correctly all the time. And a lot of people cut their names. You know, they had a huge name, they cut it in half so that it's easier. They made it easier. They wanted to make it easier for people back then. Now, nobody wants to make it easier. Now,
Yeah.
everybody's so proud. No, so that changed. So I think as a society, we're going through stages, and this is the change.
Oh, yes.
When it's a me time, you all call me how I want me to. This is me, and you all have to be like, treat me as who I am. So this is so different from us who were coming as immigrants with all of our names. We adjusted to society to make it easier for the society. Now nobody wants to adjust to society and
Correct.
make it easier for
I
the
agree.
society. So this is what's happening right now.
Yeah, the culture of assimilation has long passed. We're living in a different generation right now, and we need to just roll with it. Imagine that everything is a dance. You do not come to a conversation with an expectation, and guess what? And you have to be okay with it at the end. And on that note, I do want to stay, but I do have to go.
Yes,
And I
I think we
appreciate the
all need to go.
conversation.
Thank you very much,
Thank
everybody.
you.
It was a great conversation. Take care. Okay.
Bye bye.
All right.